Okay. Well, um, welcome everybody to our Sunday morning service here at Unity Clear Lake Center in Lower Lake. And at this point, everyone should mute their sound. So for the whole service, and we thank that. Thank you very much. And so here we go. Um, the Christ candle that I like, that I pretend to light. But mainly it's just to get us kind of in this mood. It's what this service is about and what you're about. So as we light the Christ candle, we acknowledge the presence and the power of the Christ energy living within each of us. That energy force, we are it, and it is us. And for that, we give thanks. And I'm so happy to introduce, to have Will. We are so happy to have and honored to have Dr. Will Tuttle with us today. As you already know, I'm sure he is an acclaimed composer, pianist, and educator. And we invite you now to just kind of close your eyes as he will do a short piano prayer for us to start the service. Thank you, Will.
Thank you, Barbara. Yes, let's join together in a piano prayer. I sometimes joke a little bit that when I play the piano in Japan, they can't say piano playing, they say piano praying. So here we are, piano praying. So we just take a moment and connect with the infinite love that shines within our hearts. The great mother principle of kindness and caring that supports all life on this beautiful earth, Mother Earth. The infinite loving presence that sings in every cell of our being. And we abide in the joy of eternal life. Allowing every aspect of our mind and heart to come into harmony with the one song that is the song of our life on this beautiful earth. And so it is.
Unmute. Beautiful, Will. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And so now I'd like to read our invocation affirmation. And I want you to think about it because this is who we are. First, there is only one presence and one power active in my life, God, the good, omnipotent. Then there is only one presence and one power active in Unity Clear Lake Center, God, the good, omnipotent. And finally, there is only one presence and one power active in our world, God, the good, omnipotent. And then the five basic ideas of unity is the basic foundation of unity. First, God is absolute good, everywhere present. Second, human beings have a spark of the divine spirit within them, the Christ consciousness within. Therefore, they are inherently good. 3, human beings create their experience by the activity of their thinking. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. 4, prayer is the process that affirms our connection with God mind and brings forth wisdom, healing, and everything good. And then finally, knowing and understanding universal laws, also called truth, are not enough. A person must also live the truth that he or she knows. Now, Will would like to bless us with some more beautiful music. Thank you, Will.
Great. Yes. I'd like to go ahead and play a piece of music now called Sky High. And this is a piece of music that came to me a few years ago, and I was opening up to the mystery of the sky, which is I think symbolically, the dimension of consciousness that is never harmed by anything that happens, any of the fears or delusions that we have, and where we exist in our true nature, where the sky is never harmed by the clouds come and go. So this is dedicated to the sky of our true nature and to the beings are surrounding this earth who live in the sky.
Thank you, Will. Oh my gosh, sky high. That's how I'm feeling, but of course I have to lap my eyes when you play. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Well, don't be surprised. Today's daily word on May 12th, 2024 is Mother's Blessings. I honor and bless the world's mothers. Today, I offer a blessing of gratitude for the loving, nurturing spirit of mothers. I bless my mother and those who have shared a mother's love by supporting me throughout my life. I think of the many ways they have been present for me over the years with unconditional acceptance and love. I envision all the mothers, grandmothers, and caregivers throughout the world surrounded by love and light. For those in my life, I take time to express my appreciation with words and gifts and time together. To mothers to be, I prayerfully affirm health and ever deepening joy. To mothers no longer in the world, I hold them in loving prayer and hold thoughts of joy and gratitude. I bless their souls' ongoing journeys, knowing bounds of love keep their memories alive. And from Proverbs 31:28, her children rise up and call her happy. And so, Will's talk today, honoring the Divine Mother within. Okay, Will, love
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much. Thanks. I'd like to do a meditation too. Should I do it before or after? Does it matter from the point of view of your flow or either way?
I would say, Will, that you can do meditations whenever you want. You can play the piano whenever you
All right.
want.
Okay.
And we will love it all. Thank
All
you
right.
so much, Will.
Thanks, Barbara. Yeah. Yeah. Let's have it. Let's just have a together a short meditation as we go into the talk. So I'll invite everyone now as we're listening to take a moment and enter the inner silence, this precious inner sanctuary where we dwell always in unity with the very source of our life, the source of our being, allowing ourselves to let go of any thoughts of the past, letting go of any thoughts of the future, and entering more deeply into this beautiful present moment. Remembering that this present moment is the only moment that actually is. This holy moment and we give thanks for this community, for all of our loved ones. Especially today we give thanks for our mother, our great teacher. We give thanks for all of our teachers, all the teachings, and we give thanks for this beautiful earth, the mother of all life here, supporting all living beings, air and water and food, beauty all around, a community of vast intelligence and celebration. So we give thanks for all of the animals of this earth, all of the various ecosystems, for the whole human family on our journey of awakening to the purpose that we are here to fulfill. We give thanks knowing that the light that shines at the very heart of the universe is shining right now in our heart, bringing every dimension of our life into freedom and joy, into healing and abundance. This light shines in every cell of our being, in every dimension of our affairs, in all of our relationships. We abide in loving kindness and peace and harmony, and in the realization and awareness that we are here on this earth to learn and to grow and to contribute our unique gifts to fulfill our unique purpose. And we allow the music now to deepen our connection with our mission and with our true nature. Abiding in our heart, in the heart of being, abiding in our true home, abiding in the awareness that what we are was never born and will never die, that there is one life living through all of us. That the more we send out blessings into the world, the more we are blessed. We give thanks for the infinite love that shines as our life. May all beings be happy and at peace. May all beings be free, and may we all realize the original brightness of our hearts and minds and continue to work together to build a more enlightened society that reflects the truth that we are, the truth of the inner Christ, Spirit, the truth of the Immaculate Conception, the virgin purity of our true nature, that is the true mother and essence of what we are. May we awaken to this in every moment for the benefit of all living beings. Through the power and presence of the infinite Spirit indwelling, we give thanks knowing this is so, and so it is. Okay, thank you everyone for joining in our meditation time. And I'd like to share a few thoughts about Mother's Day and mothering and the Divine Mother within. I really appreciate, Barbara, you sharing the unity thoughts about motherhood and Mother's Day. And I want to dedicate my talk to my own beautiful, wonderful mother, Beverly Benson Tuttle, who passed away a couple of years ago, I think at the age of 94. And also to my wife, Madeline's wonderful mother, Annalise, who passed away a few years before that at the age of 98. I think, 97, I think it was. And I know we all have mothering influences in our lives that have been inspiring and helpful to us. The other one I just really want to mention is my mother's mother. We called her affectionately Lala B. And she was a tremendous positive influence in my life growing up. The only one who, whenever I played the piano, would just stop everything she was doing and just sit there and listen. Even when I was like 10 years old and was not very good, but she would sit there and really listen carefully and say, that was so wonderful. And so she's was a tremendous gift to me growing up. And I think there's something we can all do that for each other. We can all support each other, and by doing that, help to bring out the best in each other. And I think that's really what love actually is. The spiritual path and unity, of course, being founded by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, a couple. There was this feminine and masculine energy together. And I think, that's really what love is. Love is the power that gives and the power that supports. And so it's, in a sense, it's seen as mother love and as being feminine. And it is in many ways, but it's also active. Like in the Chinese tradition, we have yin and yang. Yin is the receptive and yang is the active. And so in an interesting way, love is not only feminine in the sense of caring and nurturing, but it's active. It's actually giving and sharing. And so the response to that is gratitude. And so gratitude, in a sense, is the feeling of receiving, which is feminine. And so both of these, this is the great dance, I think, in spirituality and in awakening and in our life, is there's the giving and the love, which is the active power of actually doing something to help someone, and smiling and caring and actually going out and giving. And we feel that ourselves. We are given. The sun gets up in the morning and shines on us, right? And so when we receive, then we feel gratitude, we feel appreciation, we feel thankful. And so thanksgiving and gratitude really arise as the healthy and spontaneous expression within our own emotional nature of receiving love from our mother, from other motherly beings, from nature, from our life in general. And the beautiful thing really is that, and Unity emphasizes this a lot, that we have the power within our consciousness to decide what channel we're going to be listening to in our mind, right? So if we don't like the channel, we can change it. So if our channel is complaining or criticizing or judging or being afraid, we have the power to change that channel and open up more to giving, loving, caring, and to the feminine dimension of that, which is gratitude, and just be aware of how much we're being blessed all the time with every breath we take. It's we have another opportunity to look out of our eyes, see the beauty around us, see the beauty in other people, see the beauty in animals and nature. And this, I think, is really one of the critical things to understand is that love is active and gratitude is receptive. And the more gratitude we have, the more love we can give. And the more love we give, the more gratitude we actually have too. So they build on each other. And I think this is really the foundation of healthy relationships, that we show appreciation and love to the people in our lives and actively be agents, be proactive in actually sharing and telling people how much you love and appreciate them. And that makes them feel better, right? And this is what we can do. This is very important. We can come on this earth and we can cause harm, or we can cause upliftment and clarity and wisdom and joy and creativity. And I think this is so important to understand. We're raised in a society where there's a lot of
Well,
negative aspect, but we have the capacity, the
who is this?
possibility to be a force for healing and blessing. And when we do
Oh,
that,
who's my TV
we
provider?
are able to uh, create the
I don't
opportunities
have
for others
Spectrum.
to have a more um, positive and benevolent experience in their lives.
Um,
Yeah.
let's stop for just a moment. Larry Anderson, please mute yourself.
Oh, I'm
I,
Larry.
sorry. Huh.
Okay, thanks, Larry.
and thanks, Barbara. So this is the thing, and one thing I want to emphasize that I think is kind of good, just to go into Mother's Day a little bit more. Um, Mother's Day really started back in the end of the 1800s, and it was really the idea of one woman, Julia Ward Howe, who is famous for being the one who wrote the Battle Hymn of the Republic. And she petitioned President Abraham Lincoln and said, you know, we should really have a day to honor the mothers. But it was basically started in her mind, and really in the beginning, and I think it's good to remember this, as an anti-war uh, holiday. And she wrote a poem about Mother's Day, and I just want to read it because it's not very long, and I think it's really good. This is her poem that went out really on a major scale in 1870. So this was 5 years after the Civil War, and this is the feeling of mother, how mothers love. So this is what she wrote: "Arise, then, women of this day. Arise, all women who have hearts, whether our baptism be of water or of tears. Say firmly, we will not have great questions decided by irrelevant agencies. Our husbands will not come to us reeking with carnage for caresses and applause. Our sons shall not be taken from us to unlearn all that we have been able to teach them of charity, mercy, and patience. We, the women of one country, will be too tender of those of another country to allow our sons to be trained to injure theirs. From the bosom of the devastated earth, a voice goes up with our own. It says, disarm, disarm. The sword of murder is not the balance of justice. Blood does not wipe out dishonor, nor violence indicate possession. As men have often forsaken the plow and the anvil at the summons of war, let women now leave all that may be left of house for a great and earnest day of council. Let them meet first as women to bewail and commemorate the dead. Let them solemnly take counsel with each other as to the means whereby the great human family can live in peace. Each bearing after his own time the sacred impress, not of Caesar, but of God. In the name of womanhood and humanity, I earnestly ask that a general Congress of Women without limit of nationality may be appointed and held at some place deemed most convenient and at the earliest period consistent with its objects to promote the alliance of the different nationalities, the amicable settlement of international questions, the great and general interests of peace. So really, the roots of this holiday of Mother's Day are in honoring the mothers, but also in honoring these qualities that she mentioned of patience and kindness and caring that mothers in many ways embody and teach us as young men and women, and that we should be careful not to allow the forces of the world to dominate those and suppress those and erode those so that we're committing violence towards each other in the name of whatever, nationalism or in the name of fear or of domination of others. And we do this to each other and to ecosystems, and I would say also to animals. My book, The World Peace Diet, goes into that quite a bit, as some of you are aware of that. And actually, I would like to do another reading because I think it's also helpful to recognize that this great mother principle runs throughout nature. And we all know this, like if we're out in nature and we're taking a walk and we see an animal, like a female, a mother with her babies, right? Everybody goes, oh, don't get too close. You're yeah, that's dangerous. If it's a bear or whatever. If it's a single one, it's not so worrisome. But if it's a mother with her babies. I wrote a poem a couple of years ago, right after an experience I had when I was in the Sierra Nevada mountains on a solo meditation retreat. And the title of this is Mother Mouse. This is how it goes. On a solo meditation retreat high in the Tahoe wilderness, the third night in my little tent, I hear scratching sounds coming from my backpack, hanging on a nearby ponderosa pine. Check watch, 1:15 a.m., and put on headband flashlight. Unzip the tent door, and yes, there it is again, scurrying sounds in the pack. Maybe one of those many squirrels around here. Concerned about their sharp teeth, I shake it and open the top and command, come on out. But nothing happens. So I pull the pack off the tree and turn it upside down. Everything comes tumbling out, but no little creature. And curiously, a single paper napkin has been chewed into hundreds of tiny pieces, like snow fluttering to the pine-strewn earth. Then I see her, a little mouse, still clinging on inside, and so shake once more, out she tumbles to the ground and scurries off into the darkness. Checking the pack, I see the front pocket had been filled with mouse confetti. It's all cleared out, so I put everything back in. The food's in glass and plastic jars, and everything is fine. Looking again now on the ground more closely, I suddenly see a worm-like creature, quite revolting looking, dark grayish brown, wrapped in a tight membrane with sealed shut eyes. My gosh, a just-born tiny mouse. There's another, and another, and another, 4 in all, strewn about among tissue paper of their former nest, shivering and helpless in the cold. Just then, Mama Mouse returns and walks right up to a 5th little neonate I hadn't seen. She's right in the bright field of my headlamp, just 3 feet away, her brave dark eyes focused only on her task. She picks up the little one in her front paws and raises him delicately to her mouth. After a few seconds, he's secured. She turns and runs off with him into the night. I realize this is the only way to save them. So I shut off my light, head into the tent, zip it up, and lie down again. When morning comes, I step carefully out, and yes, sure enough, Mother Mouse has taken all 5 babies away. And she's even taken most of the tissue paper nesting as well. I send her love and apologize and wish her family well. Soon I'll be packing up to leave. But I've been inspired by the caring and courage of Mother Mouse. So I think, these this mother principle, it runs throughout nature, and I think it's so beautiful to realize that, and that each one of us can exhibit that in our daily life as compassion we can have for each other, and that's really how we save the world. We save the world through our kindness and our compassion. Let's see. So I have a few more minutes. Okay, I'll close with one final story, and then I'll play a piece of music. And this is another one. This is a love. This is one called "Love of a Mother Cow," which I think is an interesting story. And it goes like this. This is a true story that took place in the arid desert region of Qinghai province in western China. The officials in the area impose a strict daily ration of 3 kilos of water for each person, and residents have to rely on long-distance transport of water by the locally stationed army unit. Under these circumstances, one can well imagine the tragic condition in which animals find themselves. One day, an old cow broke away from her halter and got into the middle of the only road in the desert on which the water truck had to pass. As the minutes ticked by, and just as the local people were beginning to wonder what had happened to the old cow, a water truck arrived. The cow suddenly charged in front of the truck, forcing it to stop. Then the cow stared quietly at the truck while the driver tried futilely to chase her away. This went on for quite a while. The soldiers transporting the water had encountered this kind of situation before, but never to the extent of holding up traffic. It was different this time. Drivers caught in the traffic jam cursed, and some impatient ones tried to scare the stubborn old cow away with fire, but she remained undaunted. Next, the cow's owner arrived and whipped the poor thin cow, tearing her skin open. But the cow refused to get out of the way. The heart-rending whines of the old cow sounded so tragic that the soldiers and some of the drivers were moved to tears. At last a soldier said, "Let me break the rules for once. I'm ready to accept a penalty for this." He took a basin of water from the truck, 1.5 kilos, and placed it in front of the cow, but to everyone's surprise, the cow did not touch the water. Then the cow looked toward the setting sun and mooed. In a short while, a little calf came running out from behind a pile of sand. The wounded old cow looked lovingly at the calf until he had finished drinking the water. With tears in their eyes, the mother cow and the calf licked each other's eyes, silently expressing their love for each other. Then, before anyone had to drive them away, they left on their own. So anyway, I think, again, it's this feeling that we have of the preciousness of our life and how fleeting it is, and how we can be like a mother for each other. We can care for each other and put others' welfare equal with our own, or even ahead of our own. That's what mothers do. I mean, it's amazing. A mother, that's what she does. She gets up in the middle of the night and takes care of and puts the welfare of others before themselves. And that's when I lived in a Tibetan Buddhist meditation center. All the spiritual teachers are called lamas, right? Lama, la means precious, and ma is the universal word around the world for mother, and it means mother. in Tibetan. So Lama means precious mother. So when you say Lama, like the Dalai Lama, Lama means precious mother. And the idea is that each one of us, if we're really on a spiritual path, that we're called to be mothers for each other. So I'd like to close and thank you all for your kind attention and close with a piece of music. And this is a piece of music from the album that we have out called Animal Songs. And it has a piece for pigs and chickens and turkeys and ducks and geese and calves and sheep and goats, and one for cows. And this is the cow song. It's called Cow Song. And I like to especially, all living beings, the human beings and all beings, the mothers. The mother cow is sort of a epitome of loving presence in our world. And this is a piece of music I wrote especially dedicated to the cow, the mother cow. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Will. I'm still feeling chills and tears over the cow and the mouse and that beautiful talk. I think the music gives you a chance to kind of process some of the things that you said, which were wonderful. And of course, I'll revisit this afternoon once Patricia edits everything off, which is to remind everyone that there will be a chat afterwards, and you can ask Will some questions, and that's all edited out of the recording that Patricia will make later on this afternoon. For those of you that join later, she is speaking to her own Grass Valley Unity Church. So, all right, so let's just go on with some announcements. Mainly the future. There's going to be 2 more talks at church. So Patricia next Sunday will be doing her services on the Pentecost. And anyway, it sounds like a wonderful, wonderful service. And afterwards, they'll stay for a potluck and fellowship. Well, you'll read about it. She'll be sending you the notice on that. And then at the end of the month, the special Memorial Day service. This weekend, we celebrate Memorial Weekend. And so now at church, we're going to honor all those who have been lost in war or lost someone in your own lives, anyone. And she's just asking you to bring perhaps, maybe a picture or something to put on the wall. But Bill will be there. Bill Barrows will be there to sing some wonderful songs to accompany the service. It's a beautiful service, a special Memorial Day service in 2 weeks. So the next 2 weeks at church. And then, of course, donations are greatly appreciated. And just mail them to Unity, P.O. Box 755, Lower Lake, 95457. That's Unity, P.O. Box 755, Lower Lake 95457. And I'd like to end my part of the service with the prayer for protection, since it has to do with us and what we are. And you know it, the light of God surrounds us, but then I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, because I am. And all is wonderful.